So
You have to take young people's common interests and see if there's a way to thread their common interests into a value system, and also know that the basics of the curriculum that's not working, you have to find uses for it into a new, a futuristic pattern that's going to at least change those numbers. Usually, at the end of the streets, or that dropout of black males in the United States, is the prison industrial complex or the military industrial complex. And the military is not taking dropouts. So that has to get turned around with an older demographic of people who used to be considered parents that actually look like they care. So it's going to be a situation. The plan and the few will help the many. But a curriculum that finds some attachment of interest to it from both the community and the student body is something that can probably steer the tide. Self-esteem is a revolutionary act, I would think, because it's a change from the roboticism that a lot of people are stuck in today, waiting for a corporation to give them reassurance that they're a consumer that counts. You know, the minute that we even attach consumer to our existence is the minute that we give in to saying that we're actually more robotic than human beings. So we got to break that chain, you know. And companies, they don't want a smart consumer. They want you to be a Pavlovic dog to pretty much buy things over and over again and feel better about your service to what you spent your money on. So we got to break a lot of that, you know, and that's when the human being becomes more important than the machines. But then again, it ain't nothing new. The Matrix addressed that. The important thing for community and media is that you can focus on an individual or an effort of a group of people in your locale, and also be able to put a connected purpose to them by broadcasting it. And broadcasting is simply casting to a broad audience. So you can reach a lot of people about some reality that's happening right in front of your face in your own neighborhood that you might encounter on a one-to-one basis as a person in real life. The whole thing about broadcasting and keeping it from being national is that when it's national, it's going to be a less percentage of you actually encountering it in your regular life of that person or those situations that are being blown up, so to speak. But you know, when you actually are able to make local efforts heroic by covering it, these local situations therefore take on another persona that will maybe maximize their realities of going to more places, helping out more situations, and doing what they was doing at a smaller level at the next stage. Not about just November 3rd or the 4th, I should say. November 5th, the day after, the job has to really seriously start to be visualized and appear to take hold. And it has to be able to be on a road towards repair. Like I said, the American system is running, but it's got that donut wheel on the back tire.
yeah.
Somebody's got to stop it, change the flat. Yo, check this out. I'm gonna be real quick and frank about voting. I'm Chuck D, a public enemy, and I tell people with voting to get out of that whole apathetic little zone that people, or really young adults, are in. It's not anything to do with the youth, because the youth don't vote. Young adults vote. And I think the important thing for you to understand is that voting is something to be done just like washing your tail in the morning. When you're grown, you don't necessarily have to wash up. You don't have to go to the washroom and clean up. So same thing with voting. It's you don't get props for it, but it's just something you're supposed to do. Understand your local, before you start getting to the grandiose aspects of the federal. So voting is something that if you consider yourself grown, be accountable and be responsible for. Because if, just like washing, if you go around saying something stinks and you lift your arms, it just might be you. So same thing with voting, and don't expect any props for doing something that you were supposed to do. I know it's like old head telling you what, but all you gotta understand is just do the best that you can in the first days of your adult life. Accountability and responsibility, those things go neck and neck.